Okay, welcome to another Jarvis video series. In this video, we're going to be going over a few of the elements in the trade status row in the Jarvis HUD. So, one of the very powerful elements is this participation field here. This will either be H with the arrow up, H with the arrow down, U with the arrow up, U with the arrow down, or D with the arrow up, or D with the arrow down. And that HUD is intensity, and then the arrow up and down is direction. So up is for the buy pressure, down arrow is for the sell pressure. So if you see a buy signal and then you see participation H up at confirmation latch, what I mean confirmation latch means signal, then confirmation completes, that process completes. It takes a snapshot. This is a snapshot. Okay, this is a snapshot participation, not real time, but a snapshot participation. At the time the confirmation latched, it had this type of participation. This is good because it gives you an idea on when the structure was birthed. Was there any opposing participation at all? So that's very powerful stuff. This is just informational stuff. D plus, D plus. That basically means there's two confirmations here, C2 and C3. If there's only C2, then you'll only see one. If you do see C2 and C3, you'll see one with an arrow to the next. So it's called a chain link, basically what that is. Duration is average duration. So the average duration of the samples that's been collected on that structure, how long does it take normally to get to TP? That's your number of bars. Okay, so that's something to keep in mind. PR is basically probability of return, basically additional return. So if you have your sample configuration, for instance, we have our sample configuration in these videos as 1R ultra scalp, right? 1R, and we're having our smart SL, which is our smart stop loss, be at the swing close automatically. Um, Jarvis will be able to take that calculation and figure out, okay, when a structure hits TP, how far does it go to get more R's before a signal flip like this happens, right? Um, that's basically what that is. So that'll give you an idea if this is a real runner or not, if this is a very expansive type of structure. Um, Win rate, we already know, right? That's your win rate for the number of samples. S equals 3, that tells you how many samples there are. And the key as well. What type of key is it? A, B, C, D, or E. A being the strongest, E being the weakest. Doesn't necessarily mean that an A key will always get TP. Doesn't necessarily mean that an E key will always get TP. Everything is about context, right? You would want an A key in a high resistance zone. You would want an A key, right? Or support zone. You would want an A key. You wouldn't want an E key to show up in a high resistance zone, right? Because the probability of that E key going through is not going to be as high as an A key. An A key is more structurally stronger. And then last but not least is the JTP badge, which is the Jarvis Trade Profile badge. It just gives you a visual icon letting you know what type of structure this is. For this particular example, this structure is got a structure with issues. Because as you can see, it already looks like it got issues, right? A decent sized candle, full pullback, no prints of any A1 or A2. Like this, it's got some structure issues. Basically, is what that is. And again, this type of intelligence came way later on in Jarvis development. In the beginning, this was not here. In the beginning, Jarvis was all about confirmation entries. That's how it was designed. But now Jarvis has the Jarvis trade profile, these badges, intelligence layer, that will tell you where to enter. Are you going to enter at confirmation, or are you going to enter at acceptance, or you're going to enter at commitment, or there's no entry at all to enter into this specific structure. That's the intelligence layer on top of this base foundation confirmation intelligence. So that's basically the trade status. Pretty straightforward. Very important row. Um, Definitely would not want to make this row invisible. if I were you. And invisibility is here. You can actually make things invisible or disable it or enable it if you want to make your HUD a little bit tighter and more compact. More videos to come.